Alright, let's try this for the third time tonight. There we go. I think we got it. For some reason the live wasn't going live and it wasn't focusing. Either way, here we are. This is the Written Sins wrap-up of everything Sinful last week. We are going to do the top 5. We're going to talk some business. Let's get started. We're only going to take 10 minutes of your time, so let's get it on. Alright, Written Sins. This week we wound up reaching out to everybody and asking for help on the site, not necessarily because we need it, but because we want to expand our reach. As everyone knows, Written Sins is ran as a free site. Doesn't mean it's free to run, but we actually don't charge anything for anyone. Having more writers, creators helping us out by doing certain things, even if they're promoting themselves, just helps us expand our reach and gets more people involved on the site and allows us to be able to share greater distances by more of us being involved. We've had a couple great people helping us to this point, but we want to expand, so check it out. It's in our Facebook page, and it's on our also our Facebook dump page, which is pretty much where everything that goes from Written Sins goes on to actually our Facebook page, and our group is a place you can interact with us very easily. So just reach out to us if you're interested. The basic idea is that if you wind up working with the site by talking to other people, you'll actually grow your network, and you will actually learn a lot, believe it or not. I learned a ton just talking to other creators. You'd be amazed how quickly you learn by just, dealing with people. That's that. We had clearing the air about not backing my Kickstarter. I don't know why this was a thing this week, but someone had thought that because they hadn't backed Fetish Babies, which very proudly and very happily wound up being successful this week, along with a couple other Kickstarters. As a matter of fact, we had a bunch of Kickstarters. We had Gary Scott's Nightmare Stories. I know I'm getting the title wrong. Sorry, Gary. I should have had it up. But we also had Casey Pierce's go. We had at least three other ones that went that we had been advertising on our weekly sheet. All got funded. It was a great week for Kickstarters. But someone had thought that because I had my Kickstarter, it was a requirement for anyone to back, and it's not. If you're backing our campaign, we want you to be backing it because you're interested. We don't want anyone backing it because they think they have to. Please don't ever think you have to. If you don't like the comic I'm making, or you just don't want to back that particular one, or you don't, for any reason, don't do it. You never have to for Written Sins to have your back. Just know that. Then we had the week 6 wrap-up. Was our first and most viewed thing over the past week, and that was pretty interesting. It was the first time we'd actually ever had a wrap-up become on the top 5. So that was cool. Check it out. A lot of interesting stories we covered last week. It was we did 10, the top 10. I'm cutting it down to 5 because we went over time. I'm hoping 5 makes it easier to get through. But that was cool. 50 Shades of Misinformation Needs Correcting. This was one of the last ads we actually had for Fetish Babies. Going down to like the very last minute. As you see, February 13th, we ended on the 14th. So that wound up getting a lot of traction. And probably because the movie had just come out and it wound up drawing people in. It actually almost took the top spot. We eliminated a couple other things from Fetish Babies because they weren't even from last week. They're just carryovers. It's crazy how even today people are still reading ads that we put out or pieces that we put out about Fetish Babies a week ago. So, over a week ago, actually 3 weeks ago, we're still getting hits on it. I'm not counting it because it wasn't in the week. I don't think it should count because that particular one was definitely more designed as an ad. So, we knocked a couple out of the way. This one did make it, though, and I was kind of proud of this. This was the first look the world had of Fetish Babies. This was given out in 2015 as part of a comic book that I did with Gothic Blue and Dark Justice, and this wound up being in the middle. This was us announcing that this project was coming to life. Now, what's funny is that Gothic Blue and Dark Justice all were more advanced at the time and more ready to go, and yet Fetish Babies won the race to being the first full comic out. So, you never know. You can plan as much as you want. Your plans don't always come to be, what you want them to be, and you just got to roll with the punches. So, this was all my art. My wife, that's my wife, actually, is a hybrid of comic book and human, and once again, we were successfully funded, so thank you anyone who did back us. We really appreciate it. Casey Pierce was all over the place on our site because of the Pieces of Madness. We ran this as Pieces of Madness as a remastered masterpiece, and it really is. Anyone who's lucky enough to get involved with it and get it, you're going to get something amazing from what I've seen, and I know how passionate Casey is. You couldn't have gone wrong. She was our number 4 story, if I'm not, number 4 story, the top 4 story. And now this story, I mean, just absolutely amazed by how to fail with courage and grace, all while planning to rise up from that failure. Just, I mean, I couldn't have more credit for Cal. He knew there was a problem. He knew he wasn't going to make his goal, and he never turned negative. I never heard him say anything bad. I didn't hear him reaching for excuses. He just said, okay, we're not going to make it a week before the end of the results, and he started making plan B, and the whole time, I mean, we promoted him to the last day. To the last day, we were promoting it on our site and trying to help him. But, I mean, he just completely failed, and we had to talk about it. We even did a mini interview about it. Just an amazing creator, the fact that he actually, hey, Christopher, he actually stepped up and actually, you know, said, look, we're going to fail, but that's okay. We're going to find another way to get it done. And I think that we need more people who are willing to fail nowadays to be able to, you know, get past where we're at, where people start looking to blame people. Sometimes things don't go right. Kickstarter's not a guarantee. Sometimes timing's not right. Sometimes it's a bunch of things. And I know, I won't say who, but I know someone relaunched a Kickstarter and they're going to be very successful this go around. I don't want to mention who because you don't want to ever bring up the bad in the past, but, you know, sometimes it's just timing. Sometimes it really just does a bad time. And I was surprised how many Kickstarters wound up being this time of year. We only went this time of year. We were debating going near Christmas, and we canceled because Christmas. And we realized that the 50 Shades movie was going to come out. And because we're kind of like the anti-50 Shades is the fact that we're actually based on fact and not fiction. We wanted to come out during the same time period just to be able to, you know, be part of the discussion, you know, give an alternative to that crap. And, well, it didn't do so well, so we'll just leave it at that. I got to give my wife a lot of credit. She winds up being the cosplayer of the week for getting the most views. It takes a lot to put yourself out there. My wife really went above and beyond and put herself out there in very personal ways, did interviews, shared photos that, you know, could be considered, you know, racy. Nothing like horrible, but definitely something that people could say something about. And, you know, people do say things about things, and it's not always pleasant to be a woman. So I give a lot of credit to my wife because women get bullied a lot online. I mean, they literally called this picture of her porn, and that's a shame because they apparently don't understand what porn is, but I'm not going to get into that now. We only got 10 minutes. Just, I want to give her a lot of credit for putting herself out there, and this cosplay actually winds up being our most viewed cosplay of the week, so that was exciting that she gets that spot. It's not part of the countdown. Usually we have the cosplay in the countdown, but there was no cosplay that made it. She just barely missed the top 5, so I decided to just show it and make sure every week we're acknowledging cosplay, because I think cosplay is a wonderful thing, and I really want to encourage people who cosplay to keep cosplaying. Artificial Nerds, I know they're not on episode 26 anymore. I believe we're on 27, if not 28. I think it's 27 we're on as the most current one, but this one is fantastic. Find it on our site, episode 26. Russell Notel? I don't know. I've never heard you pronounce your last name, Russell. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Of Wannabe Press was on it, and it was just an amazing podcast. The two of them had a lot of good chemistry. It was a strong conversation, great things to hear. If you're a creator, you need to be listening to that. If you're ever going to run a Kickstarter, or just even the way you think of indie comics, I think Russell really nailed it. And some of the things that he said, it's worth checking out. Get to our site. It's under Artificial Nerds. It's under episode 26. Just type in any of that. Episode 26. Monsters and Other Scary Shit should also pop up too. I believe that it's tagged in that. So this is all stuff just to check out. This is our list of Kickstarters that are currently still going. Jupiter Jet, I believe, is actually closed at this point. But American Kingdom, we're going to go over that in a couple minutes because I really think it deserves a little extra time. Morgan's Organs, I can't wait. I love this. If anyone's seen my review, Just a fantastic comic book. It's funny as hell. Get on it. The genderqueer vampire looks very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. We have Steel Wool. That's by Austin Allen Hamble. I mean, and also Vic is on that as the artist, and he did wonderful things in the past, and it looks like he's doing wonderful things in there. It's definitely Kickstarter. Check out Transgenesis, I believe, is Genesis. I don't know how to pronounce that exactly right. Sorry if I'm messing that up. By Jay Sloan. That looks awesome. I can't wait to see that. Landslide is. We're going to go over that in a minute, so just hold on to that. Not Forgotten by Various Creators is an awesome thing that you guys got to be part of, and we just found out that Martin Dunn's going to be on that. Here is Monsters and Other Scary Shit. Russell, we were just talking about him being on it. This winds up being in two different places because this is the middle of the week one, and I just forgot to get that out. And brand new was Delia Blast. Once again, let's get to that in a minute. Okay, we're just over here on our site. This is the Facebook page. Oh, I just got a breaking news. 1/3 wave funded on Landslide. That's awesome. But this is just showing you our actual, for those who don't know, we actually have a page. This is it. Okay, let's talk about this. This is a brand new helmet that just came out about an hour ago. The next person to donate $100 to the R2D2 Autism Awareness Build will get this helmet. And they're going to pay for shipping, U.S. only, plus they'll pay for shipping in the United States. Okay, so, I mean, this is the GoFundMe thing we've been talking about consistently. This goes to help to build the R2 unit. I shared it on my page. We're going to wind up getting it up on Written Sins as soon as possible. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on at Written Sins right now, because we are having a little bit of technical issues, but we'll get to that in a minute. First, Delia Blast. Great Kickstarter. He's almost at the 2,000 mark. I can't wait. I got to read this already. I still backed it. I mean, he gave me an advanced thing, and I need it. I'm getting the $30 one, as you guys can see. I'm getting the 5 trading cards. I'm getting both covers. I'm getting the deluxe edition. I love this comic book. You guys got to get on it. I gave it a raving review because it's fantastic. So if you haven't already, Delia Blast #1 on Kickstarter. Tits is back for issue 4. I'm gonna do something right now. I'm actually gonna pick my thing. They didn't tag me in it. I only found out about this because someone I knew actually did it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I have Tits 1 through 4 already. I think I'm gonna go with the poster packs. I saw the wall scroll. For now, I'm going to come back to this, but for now, I'm gonna do this. I don't know why it says Apple Pay, but I'll come back to that. But that'll be what I pick out when I'll finish that when I'm off the air. Landslide, here it is. We have a 3-page preview on our site. Now, it was just announced that they're 1/3 of the way funded, so that's awesome. This is their 3-page preview. Now, we're not hosting it because I want you to go to his actual site. So you go here, see full-size pics here. I want you to go check him out, maybe friend him, check out who the creator is, because I always think that's a great thing. So sometimes we don't host things necessarily on our site. If we think that it can, help you get to know the creator a little better, we want to draw you there. And like we talked about last week, see the little thing? See this arrow right here? How it's an arrow, and it goes over something, and the arrow goes away, and there's a question mark. That question mark means that if you go somewhere, you get to see something different. Just making sure that we're talking about that out loud so everyone knows that those are called links. Sometimes people don't get that. I'm just trying to bring up the awareness so by the end of the year we don't have to hit click here on everything that we're posting. The Barnstormers are coming to the Northeast Comic-Con and Collectibles Extravaganza, a pop culture expo. Johnny C will be there, Bob Sally, Josh Dahl, and they are a fantastic, I guess, trio at that point that are going to be at the Hanover Mall on March 4th and 5th. If you're in the Northeast, this is the thing to go to. So that'll be in about a week, so we'll probably talk about it next week's show too. Once again, we're talking about the the R2-D2, and I just wanted to show this. This is how important it is. My son never really saw R2-D2. My wife hates Star Wars, so we don't really watch Star Wars in the house. He fell in love with lightsabers. This is the first time I think he's actually ever seen R2-D2 in person, and he fell in love with them, and he ran around. And if my son, who is 18 months at this point, could show so much love for it, imagine what it would do for autistic children. Imagine what it could do for children who have special needs to be able to see this, come to a hospital or go to an event. It'd make them light up, and it could help them possibly communicate. So if you haven't already, now is the time. Come to our site, Autism Awareness. You can look it up by autism, look it up by R2-D2, and then you just hit here. Here we go. And there it is. And as of right now, they're closing in. We're getting to the point where it's $830 away from goal. We got to get there, so we need your help. Make sure that you guys are doing it. I want to be the person to put them over. I don't know where I'm going to wind up pledging, but the minute I think I can get them over, I want to be the last person to put them over there. So I watch this every day. I want to be that guy who puts them over. So I'm going to be donating too. I just want to be the last one to get them over. All right. We're going to talk about an American Kingdom. All right, so this is something that a lot of people are sleeping on. I have no idea why. Honestly, I think it's one of the best Kickstarters to come out in a while. The idea is fantastic. Imagine if we had never actually become a democracy. Imagine if we'd stayed a kingdom. How would America look now, and how would the world be changed? This is a very interesting concept that I haven't really seen done. I mean, I guess you could say The Kingdom on Netflix is similar, but that's if World War II was won by the Nazis. This is actually erasing America as we know it from existence. And as you can see, there's some pretty good violence in this, too. Public beheadings. I mean, America is not what you'd expect. There are no safe spaces in this America, I'll tell you that. So if you haven't already, get on it. Get part of it. There's a lot of room to grow. $10,000 we need, so share the hell out of this. 9 days to go. Let's get it done, guys. Okay, as I said, every week we're going to talk about this. We want to wish our friend Josh Gilliam a fast recovery from his dual fusion surgery. Also, just as a quick thing, as many of you might know or might not know, Larry Higgins just had surgery. Larry is the creator of Niobe. Let me see, Larry Higgins. He just had surgery, and he had a complication where he had to go in and have something else done. And if you guys could just reach out to him, because he's got a couple weeks of bed rest, maybe just check in with him. If you have a comic that you want someone to give you an opinion on, just reach out to him and give him a hey, what's going on? Read my comic book. He's got time, so I'm sure he'd like someone just reaching out saying hi to him. But back to what we were talking about, because I think we're already over the 10 minutes. But and I know it's late. That's why we're trying to do it at 10 tonight. Here we go. The veteran's wife. Okay, back to veteran's wife. Every week we're going to talk about this. Supporting veterans is something I really believe that we all need to do a better job at, and here's a way to do it. If you haven't already joined, or I should say like this site, like it. Now, I unliked it just to show you guys the actual liking it thing. And here's an important message. Everyone, I hear a lot of people, and I'm not going to name names, but I do hear people complain, why do people invite me to their page or their group? I want you to understand something. Watch. Okay, I like the page, right? Nothing changed. The world is still going to be the way it is. 90% of the time when you like a page or you join a group, it doesn't even wind up in your feed. So if someone's inviting you to be part of their world, why not just say yes and be part of their world? I don't understand why people get so twisted about that. You're going to be supporting someone. You put a show of support. It's not meant as even if you don't like it, just don't take it as an insult, is what I'm saying here. People are trying to invite you to be part of something. They're not trying to take advantage of you. Don't get so sensitive about it. If someone invites you, and certainly don't threaten to not be friends with them anymore because of it. People are just trying to spread their awareness of what they're doing, and this is something that everyone should be behind. We have to support our veterans. Okay, this is Written Sins. We're actually going to be talking about two things. The first thing we're going to talk about, this is our actual group, is Kane winds up winning. I'm going to call it now. Now, here's the thing. Kane won last week, so what we're going to do this is I never officially made it so no one could win back-to-back. So I'm going to allow it. I've made the decision that if Michael wants to keep hustling better than everyone else is hustling to win this, he can keep doing it. I'm going to treat it more like a bestseller list, more than we're going to treat it like you can only do it once. It won't be like our splash page, which you can only win once. This is going to be, you can, if you want your comic to win, go for it. I mean, I came close. Like, it was a good week. I mean, I wound up being right up here, and I honestly didn't do anything more than just show up, put my name in, and like it. And then I got a good amount of votes. I mean, I think this is an interesting thing. I think Michael Metlin and his comic book Kane are awesome. We've done a review. We did a live review. I think this is something that's absolutely fantastic. Here's the thing. If you want to be out there, you got to hustle. And Michael's showing the hustle. Michael's getting people to show up to vote for him. I didn't even see Michael. A couple days ago when I checked in here, he wasn't even here. And then all of a sudden he was here. And he came in late. And he took it. He took it because no one else wanted to hustle. So I'm gonna reward Michael. He gets it. But I'm going to tell you this, Michael. I'm going to make it a little more interesting next week when I come, or we'll go again in 2 weeks. We're going to do this bi-monthly, and I'm gonna come for it. I'm gonna come for the win, Michael. I'm gonna make it my goal to decrown you now, because now it'll be 3 times in a row if you win, and I have to stop that. And I don't want you to get to Connect 4. So I think sometimes competition's fun. So now you've made me interested, Michael. Now you've made me interested. One final thing I wanted to talk about, and we're just going to scroll as I talk about this. And as you can see in our group, people come and drop their stuff off to us all the time, which is absolutely fantastic. I love it. If you guys get a second right here, we're having trouble with the site. Like right now, when I look at it in different browsers, I'm getting different parts of the site, and it's not updating all the way. A couple people have gone to our site and asked us, why don't we have an update, or why haven't we added to the site? And we actually have. We've reached out. I don't know if it's a WordPress issue. I don't know if it's a Bluehost issue. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. I know they did an update. I don't know how that update has affected us. They're supposedly looking into it. I'm going to be on the phone with them tomorrow. I think I'm going to call. You know how the weekend goes when you try to ask anyone at a help desk. We're working on it. I'm hoping to get it solved fully this week. I want to go into March fully operational. I don't know what happened. There are some site issues. Most of them you won't notice. Some of the issues have been that suddenly we won't be getting our emails sent out, and I'll have to manually put it into our groups. Besides that, we're operating, so it hasn't really been something that I've been too concerned about. I don't really want to take the site offline to test it and do other things to it. So we're trying to limp along with it. My son's birthday is next weekend, so I'll be scarce anyway. So if anyone wants anything posted, get it done in the middle of the week. If we do have to take the site offline, we'll do it over the next weekend. I didn't want to do it this weekend because there are a couple things that I know are happening this week. I knew Tits was supposed to be starting again, and I'll get that on the site by tomorrow. We're hoping it'll get fixed very, very soon. Hey, Melissa, what's up? You're welcome. That's it. That was Written Sins this week. You guys are great. Always keep supporting your fellow creators. Always put your stuff in here. I wind up sharing 90% of this when it winds up in the group if I don't actually put it on the site itself. If you have any questions, as always, just reach out. We're always here. And remember, if you want to learn more about comic books, join the Written Sins team and do things that will expand your horizons just by talking to other creators, like doing interviews with other creators, if not helping to promote other people. It is just a win-win, because not only are you going to help promote other people's work, but in the same time, you're going to start building a network of people, and you're also going to prove what kind of person you are, because I think it takes a lot to help other people, and it's going to get reciprocated in life. When you help other people, they'll help you, and that's how the indie market is. The more you help other people, the more they will help you. So that's it. Happy birthday to Richard Rivera. He just had a birthday this week. We got a lot of stuff coming this week. We've been dealing with the site issues. But that shouldn't stop much of what's going on. I'll see you all, guys. Probably middle of the week we're gonna do something. We'll do a video. I think I got like 3 unboxings to do. I might do live. I might do them separately. We'll see. Sorry it took so long tonight. Just a lot to cover. It was a busy week. I'll talk to you all later.